What's up, guys? Welcome to Spooked and Scooted. We're at Fort William Henry. We just got done with our ghost tour, and Blake is going to tell you about the history behind this place.
Yeah, so we were at Fort William Henry, like Eddie said, doing some ghost investigations, trying to find some spooky stuff. The French and Indian War happened at that date. But yeah, we were trying to do some voice box, some spirit box readings, and some other stuff, getting some photos of some orbs and spirits, and hopefully we'll get some more later on in the season.
I kind of want to see something, but I also feel like I won't be able to sleep at night.
Who knows? Maybe you will see something.
You recording?
Yeah. Spooky.
I still feel like it's all a lie.
Keep telling yourself that. If Corey was here, he would defend it. Say it's tight and chest is tight.
It was tight.
For you, it was. But again, we walked 8 miles to get to the house.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a lot more different down here now.
Oh, it changes tour to tour, like half hour to half hour. This is a great spot. So I'm just going to draw your attention to this fireplace over here. It is original to the fort. It was built in 1755. We are displaced by about 10 to 15 feet, so this is actually the back of the fireplace. But this would have been featured pretty heavily, both in the cooking of food for the barracks, the people who were living here, and warming the barracks themselves. But it was most important during the week of the siege because it was used very heavily during the surgeries when this was turned into an emergency field hospital. So I'm going to go tell you guys about that over here. So this area was originally the mess hall, hence the cooking of food over in the fireplace. But it was turned into an emergency field hospital during the week of the siege when the original hospital in the North Barracks was deemed too unsafe to use. Emergency field hospitals cropped up in the casemate of this barracks as well as the East Barracks. Now this is where I'm going to... I don't expect you guys to need to leave during this talk, but we have had lots of people faint in the last couple of years during this particular speech. So if you don't do well with blood or surgery talk, you can feel free to have a seat or just leave at any time. I would rather you leave during the middle of my talk than have you faint and have to call the EMTs and just go through the whole rigmarole, because it is my least favorite part of the job and it's been happening more frequently. So if you start to feel unwell, let me know or just walk away. Don't lock your knees, and if you're ready to go, let's go. So surgeries during the this particular time period were pretty brutal. The main form of surgery during this time was amputation, and that is because musket balls don't work the same way as modern day bullets. A modern bullet will go into your body and expand and leave a large exit wound. Musket balls, like cannonballs, are designed to hit bone and make that bone explode into shrapnel. They are glorified rocks that you throw really hard at a person. And because the doctors didn't have the time or expertise to piece all those bone fragments back together, it was quicker and safer, honestly, just to lop the limb off. And so this is the step-by-step process of that. I actually told one of my students the other day when he was complaining that his foot was hurting that I knew how to do an amputation per the 1750s, and he looked horrified and ran away, and suddenly his foot was fine. So not sure what that was about. But if, like this poor man, you were shot in the lower leg, say you're up on the bastion, one of your buddies would have carried you down the stairs and either sat you on a stool or on the floor among 20 to 30 other men all waiting for the same surgery. Once you were seated on the floor or on a stool, the doctor's assistant would hand you a bottle of rum, and he would tell you to drink until you couldn't stand anymore, which, you know, the leg wound probably would have done the job itself, but they wanted to make extra sure that you really couldn't walk. That bottle of rum is all you get before your surgery. This is pre-anesthesia. It's also pre-germ theory, but we'll get to that in a little bit. But because it's pre-anesthesia, they are trying to numb you, I guess, as best they know how. They're not supposed to knock you out, though. You are going to be awake during your surgery. They just want you to be so drunk that when you wake up in the morning, you have blacked out and forgotten everything. You look up and you look around and why is my leg hurting? Oh God, it's gone, right? That's the level of drunk they want you at because that's the level of drunk that you're probably gonna survive at. So once you are drunk as a skunk, you will be brought over to a repurposed cafeteria table, laid down on it, and the doctor is going to take a lead musket ball and put it in your mouth. Yes, lead is toxic. No, they didn't really care. All they cared about was the fact that they had a lot of lead musket balls running around because siege. And lead is malleable. It's a soft metal. So if you bite into it, it will prevent you from biting your tongue off, but it won't immediately break your teeth. This is where we get the phrase, bite the bullet. We actually, on the corner of that table, have a bullet that was excavated from Fort Edward. There no surgeries occurred at Fort Edward, so we believe that when the Army walked down that way, those who survived the massacre, someone brought a lead musket ball that they found on the ground, and it just so happened to have been used in surgery because there are teeth marks in it. So, you are blackout drunk, laying down on a cafeteria table, chewing on your nice lead snack. The doctor is ready to get to working because that's as prepped as you are going to get. He is going to grab his scalpel, which, along with his hands, yes, is already bloody. This is where the pre-germ theory comes into play. Your blood is the same as my blood is the same as her blood. It's all red. Why bother washing our surgical utensils in between surgeries? It doesn't matter. So that is the blood of the man he just operated on before you. The one before him, and before him, and before him, up until he had started that morning. So he's going to use that already bloody scalpel to cut into your leg a couple inches above the entry point of the bullet. He's going to cut through the skin, through the tendons and the ligaments and the muscle, all the way down to the bone, all the way around the limb to create a channel for his bone saw, which is the same kind of saw you'd use to cut down a Christmas tree today. Once he has that channel so that the teeth of the saw don't get gummed up, he is going to grab his saw and start going to town on your leg. Now he is going to saw not all the way through, because the doctors here like to boast that they could get through the femur, which is the densest bone in the human body, in about 60 seconds. And it took so little time because they stopped when they got 75 to 80% of the way through the limb. Because at that point, it is much faster to simply take the saw out of your bone, grab either end of the leg, and snap what's left like a twig. That little bit of extra time usually saved people's lives. Yes, it did create jagged edges on the end, but they had bone nippers and files to take care of those bits. So while the doctor is rounding out those jagged bits on the end of his bone, his assistant is sprinting over to the fireplace where they left a cast iron skillet heating in the flames. He'd run back over with that skillet and slowly press it against the wound to cauterize it and stop the bleeding. Now this keeps you from bleeding out, but I'm sure it hurts like hell, hence the rum that they drank before they put you under, so to say, with the rum. When that is done, after you are done bleeding, the doctor is going to take 2 flaps of skin he left on the end of your leg and wrap you up like a really bad present. And now he needs to stitch you back together. You don't have the nice organic threads that we have today that absorb into your skin. And he also wasn't going to use regular thread or metal or hair like other people like to suggest, because he never, ever, ever wanted to see you again. He had too many people to worry about, trying to keep track of who needed what stitches removed when. So because he's not using regular thread, but he also doesn't have our nice organic thread that we have today, he has one choice, and that is animal intestines, cut into strips and soaked briefly in rum. I would not personally recommend putting animal intestines in an open wound, but what do I know? I'm not a doctor. Once he's finished stitching you up, he is going to bandage you and send you down to the guard room, which was turned into an emergency recovery room during the week of the siege. If you woke up the next morning, and there was a good chance you wouldn't, you would be told by the doctor, okay, kid, because these were kids, now it's time to keep your wound clean. Do your best at it. Here's a bottle of rum. What do you guys think they used the rum to do? What did they use it for?
Probably drink. I would.
They sure did drink it because it tastes a hell of a lot better than the well water. You know what they used to disinfect their wounds? The well water that gave everybody dysentery and killed half the troops here. Yeah, so it was a great time. The infections actually got so bad that the doctors told people to stop cleaning their wounds because they would drink the rum and use the dysentery dead people body water to clean their wounds out with. So if you survived your surgery, you then had to get past the point of infections. And the most common infection, wedge that thing shut because it just kept happening. We also had a tour where we came down and these nice little bottles were arrayed around this plate here. And that bottle in the center used to be next to the plate. And we came down between tours. This was the summer after we had permanently shut that. And it was in the middle of the guy's legs. So things move around. It's not the only thing that moves. Sometimes the shirt. Because you might get him, you never know. But just do be careful because we have this fascinating technology here and in our fireplace display, which sometimes messes with people's photographs. No, it's called glass. And what people sometimes forget is glass tends to be reflective. So if you do take a picture and you get something, before you ask me what the horrifying picture is showing, that horrifying figure in your picture of the surgery display, make sure it's not you. Because I will be honest, and I have ruined people's nights. That is my favorite part of this job. So feel free to take some pictures, but be wary of your reflection because it does catch people out every single year, and it's great. When you're done with your pictures, we are going to scoot down to the opposite end of the casement to the doctor.
I don't know if you heard, but I heard a footstep upstairs.
The camera kept shutting itself off.
Flash. I'm orange.
He looks directly at it.
If you wish, I would also invite people to maybe take some photos of what we have here is our original, this is the original fireplace also to the fort. We also have a more benevolent spirit here. We call her Mary. We surmise her to be one of the cooks of the kitchen.
Oh.
Mostly because
My chef jacket.
we usually,
Nice red one.
when her presence is around, we usually get some sort of kind of smell of baked goods, like a cinnamon or vanilla. And with everything closed up the way it is, we're not pumping anything through. There's no scents or anything coming through. And it's really kind of hit or miss whether we get that scent or not. And
I'm sorry, take a photo on my ID number.
about with they eventually had to find a way to just
Get out of the way.
Can I be in the picture?
Well, like, you're already 6 feet tall. I mistake you for the doctor.
If we see Mary. In my chef jacket, maybe Mary will.
No, sounds like a baker. Another chef.
I make popovers. Still recording?
Yeah, well, I told Blake it kept shutting itself off.
Oh, did you charge it?
I did. I just kept hitting stop record.
Something weird. There used to be another lady. But this is our guard room. This was one of the best jobs to have at the fort. So a lot of the jobs rotated weekly. This one especially was in such high demand that it had a weekly rotating basis. We had the duty roster here, and they would go up on the roster. You had your week of hanging out and drinking and playing cards and making sure no one stole an extra helping of dried peas out of our provision storage area. And at the end of the week, your shift would be up and it would switch out. Now, if someone fell ill or died while they were supposed to be on guard duty down here, one of their buddies would come down, erase their name, and write theirs and in place and take over for them. This is one of the most active spots in the entirety of the fort, and especially in the casemate, because this is likely where the massacre of Fort William Henry began. So during the week of the siege, that end was the emergency field hospital. This was the recovery room. We had wounded soldiers here. We had camp followers, women and children, helping to try to nurse those wounded soldiers back to health. And once the army left, they left the camp followers and a lot of the wounded soldiers behind. They just were not able to pack up in time, or they were in too bad of a health state to be moved. And so when the natives came in after being gypped by the French, they of course ran through the fort trying to find anyone left to get the payment that they had been promised. And down in the casemates, they found women and children and wounded soldiers, people who couldn't really fight back. But scalps were scalps, and so everyone down here was slaughtered. At the time, the only way in and out was the staircase that we came down. This staircase here in the center of the room was set up when we rebuilt the fort because it looked like we had to have a fire exit. So there was no place for people to go. So you can imagine being a woman with her children here trying to take care of wounded soldiers and look up and see people running at you trying to kill you. You're going to go to the back of the room, and that's where you died because there was literally nowhere for these people to go. So we see a lot of orbs in this area. The shadows move around. Sometimes the mannequins shift and blink at you. 2 years ago, the shadow cast by a mannequin by the fireplace was the one that was moving more than the others. Last year it was that mannequin shadow. They like to take turns, I guess. I'm not sure. But like occasionally you'll turn and you'll see that the shadow is shifting, and you'll focus on it for a second and go, is that actually? And it'll snap back into place. So just keep an eye on the shadows. We're going to be taking pictures and videos in this area. We used to have a lot of activity associated with the duty roster. Now, the names on that roster are the names of the men who were on guard duty the week of the siege. All but one of them died during the siege. Only one of them managed to escape alive. A couple of years ago, we had maintenance come and confront the ghost guides right before tours started one night. And they said, it was really funny the first couple of times, guys, but you really got to stop messing with the duty roster. We were like, what are you guys talking about? And the maintenance guys said, well, every night after the tours end, for the last couple of weeks, one of you idiots has been hopping the barrier there and going up and erasing all but one of the names on the roster. And then you leave, and in the morning we have to come back down and put it on, because at the time it was ringing chalk. And the ghost guides were like, what the hell are you guys talking about? No, we don't do that. My understanding is there used to be a plexiglass wall here, window rather. There used to be a lock on that door that when it was there, we all amused ourselves by trying to break into because none of us needed a combination for it. And we explained that it could not have been the ghost guides erasing the names. The maintenance guys were like, well, it wasn't us, obviously, so we just put it down to ghosts. They did, rather, and painted the names on the next time it happened. We did some research because that's fascinating. And we found that one of the people on that roster survived and everyone else died. Captain R. Saltonstall survived this place. Everybody else died somewhere in the fort, either during the siege or the massacre. But Saltonstall escaped with the army, made it down to Fort Edward, went back to his home in Massachusetts, fought for the Loyalists during the Revolutionary War, and that's when he died. So we think that whoever was erasing the names was following protocol. Everyone on that roster, except for Saltonstall, died here. Protocol was, if someone died while on guard duty, they erased the names. Saltonstall survived, so his name was left alone. Now, we haven't had any issues with the duty roster sending the names on, but if it starts to erase them, we won't talk to them. And good luck, because I'm leaving. I do not want to see that. Occasionally, too, the bottles on the table will shift. They are outlined in a little bit of chalk so that we can kind of keep track of that. They haven't moved in a little bit, but tonight might be a good night to do it. Hopefully they do at some point, because that would be really cool. If you'd like to take some pictures or some videos, go for it. Again, keep an eye on the shadows. We're looking for ghost orbs as well. When you're done with your pictures, we'll meet over here at the staircase, and we'll do our last our last little spot, and then I'll give you guys a couple of minutes to explore down here with the lights off, if you'd like to.
Oh.
Go for the $1 already.
Should I put $1 there?
We're talking about the last spirit that we're going to talk about on our tour.
Oh, I know the spirit.
Yeah, this guy. We call him him because we know that he is a he. That's kind of the bulk of the information that we've gotten definitively from him. We have other bits and pieces of his story that he's like shared slightly with psychics or from EVPs over the years. We don't have a name for him because we believe he was native, and he's never shared his tribe, he's never shared his name. We don't want to give him one that pisses him off because he tends to scratch and bite people who make him angry. So we try to leave him, give him as much space and respect as we possibly can, just so that everybody stays safe on the tour, because it really freaks people out when they do something stupid and then come away with scratches. So we try to avoid that. But we have had multiple psychics come through over the years. We've had multiple EVP sessions where we've gotten information. And because we've gotten very similar information from all of these different sources over the course of many years, we've sort of started incorporating it into our what we tell about him, because we believe that it's pretty accurate, to as accurate as we can get, just because it's come from multiple sources. So we believe that he was one of the natives who participated in the massacre down here. He came down the stairs with all of the other natives, started killing people, eventually came across a mother and her child. Some people think it was a nurse who was protecting a child, or just a young mother who had her child with her, helping to nurse people back to health. But either way, she was shielding the child and trying to beg for their lives. They didn't speak the same language, but like just her trying to shield the child rather than herself made him pause. He realized that, they had been in just as bad circumstances as anybody else. It wasn't really their fault that this war was happening. And so he decided to spare them. Motorcycle. You get a feel for it after a couple of years. He turned his back to them, but of course he didn't communicate that he was going to let them live. And the other option was to be kidnapped and sold as slaves or incorporated into the tribe, and that didn't sound as good to her either as being killed dead. So when he turned his back to start killing the soldiers around them, the woman grabbed a knife off of a nearby table and stabbed him in the back, and he died down here. He's not super fond of women, especially young mothers who have, the demographic seems to be 2 to 3 year old boys, like the sweet spot for people who he really paid attention to. So we try to, keep them a little bit further away from this area just in case he's wandering about. We're not super sure why he stays down here, because he is kind of surrounded by a bunch of British soldiers, probably killed a couple of them. So it's not the most comfortable place to be spending whatever time he has. But we think that he's under the stairs just because, he can keep his back to the wall. It's like a safest place for him. I have seen him elsewhere in the fort, so he's not tied to this one area. But this is where he tends to return to, hence the shrine. We set that up a couple of years ago, and it has helped to calm down a little bit. He's a little more receptive to no thank you, rather than just going for whatever it is he was hoping to do. He doesn't attack people nearly as often, though he will still go after people who are very disrespectful of him and his space. He's the main reason we have the please be respectful of the spirits here clause, because it often goes really poorly either for the guests, or if they leave before he has a chance to do anything, he takes it out on us, which is not the most comfortable experience, I can tell you that. We had a man a couple of years ago who came into the fort very drunk. This guy is the reason you're not allowed to be drunk on the tours anymore. But he was very vocal about wanting to meet a ghost. Not just see something happen, not get something in a photograph, but meet a ghost. Like walk up, hi, my name is, meet a ghost. Again, incredibly. He says, well, now's my chance. I'm going to meet a ghost. I'm going to make something happen. So he goes underneath the stairs, sits down, and starts shouting racial slurs and insults. was not a good time. The rest of the tour thought it was hilarious, though, so they were laughing and egging him on. And then he starts shadowboxing the air, trying to pick a fight with the ghost, which is when the guides were finally like, oh, yeah, no, this needs to end. So they pulled him out, ended the tour, kicked everybody out. At the time, this was not the last stop. That man is the reason this is the last stop. But we made sure that that guy was the last person out of the casemate, just so we didn't start fist fighting anybody living on the stairs and have bad things, bad things happen. So he's coming up the stairs, last person, complaining loudly about the guides being awful. Gets to this step here, falls on his hands as if somebody pushed him. But we think he's tripped because, again, horribly drunk. He stands up, though, and shouts, "Who pushed me?" And the guides waiting for him in the West Barracks say, "No one. You're drunk, you're obnoxious, get out." And so again, he stands up, starts walking out to the front door, loudly complaining about the guides. And then his complaints change. He instead starts complaining that his back is burning. And burning and burning and burning and burning. And he's complaining so loudly and incessantly by the time we get back to the lobby that the guides decide to humor him. And they say, "Okay, we'll check your back for you." They lift his shirt and find from shoulder to opposite left hip 3 long red scratch marks. We think that somebody else was also tired of this man's nonsense and wanted to let him know never to come back. He is on the short list of people who have been banned permanently from the fort, thank goodness. So we just caution, please be careful when you're in this area. Just be respectful. If you want to go under the stairs, you can to take pictures. People often get in photographs, a shadowy figure kind of crouched in the corner, or eyes looking at them. Just, the vague shapes of a person in a place where there wasn't a person.
Get a better shot. No. Like clear light.
Let me get in the footage.
Okay, well, close your eyes.
Just flick up here.
Blake, you still got your thing too.
I don't like that.
Yeah, I was gonna
Just
say,
pitch
never
black
mind.
over here.
No, that one. We still don't really understand.
What's this?
Your
This is your thing?
So yeah, it's an E. It's supposed to be an EF.
EMF.
Put it under the stairs.
That's the one spot I'm waiting for. What?
A very nauseous feeling.
Yeah, I know Corey went over there and was saying like how bad it was and tight chest and all this other stuff. Get a couple nice shots of Blake.
What?
Oh, he had a bloody rag on. I was like, wait a minute. His head's a little bloody. What's going on here?
So what makes this very fun for us is there's 4 people in this group, and 2 of them are all about ghosts and things like that, and 2 of us are kind of just eh. So we're oftentimes, like, I think when we came here, we went to an abandoned place, did a video there, came back. One of the guys sat on the stairs, he's like, my chest is tight and stuff. And I'm like, no, it's the 8-mile hike you had.
It's always going to be in a ghost investigation group to have a scat night because it's so easy to get caught up in the excitement. And
Yeah.
so you gotta have someone to be like, hey.
So all these things are all for him and the other guy. So
I think
hence all
people are
his
lying
boys.
sometimes.
Bye.
Oh, what's that?
Spirit box.
Oh, why is it making noises?
So what it does is it'll scan through all like the radio channels and almost make like words out of it.
We talk to them?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
with this white noise and then sometimes words will
Oh.
So, like, when we go to this island of Buffalo, that'll be one of the spots. I'll end up doing that, probably. I'm supposed to ask questions.
Well, come on, Dan. Ask some questions.
This
Ask
is,
some questions
this
to
is
Doc.
your scenario.
What's your name?
I want this to be picking up some music. Yeah, I'll pick up music. Yeah.
Just keep rolling your finger through that. It's probably your best bet.
Sounds like noise. What if you go walk over there by yourself in the dark? The other direction.
Oh, the other direction.
Yeah.
You like walk over there and you're like, okay, yeah.
Like, don't shine the light though. It's like, just walk by yourself. Or I'll do it.
See, I don't know what to ask, like,
Oh, you gotta remember, if you sit on the stairs and ask questions to him, he doesn't speak English. It's just kind of hard to communicate in that sense. But the guard room, we're all English soldiers. Eddie, you got a bad habit of just walking in front of me.
Sorry. I'm trying to get in the shop. I need my screen time. Make this the thumbnail.
No, that's gonna be the thumbnail
Oh.
of me fighting with you for 5 minutes for you to sit in the chair.
When I got closer, I felt like energy.
It's a chair.
In a creepy basement.
Lee Corey was here.
See, I don't know how this stuff works.
So this was based off electromagnetic. So anything you get in your, like if you went near an open wire, that would start going off type of deal. And that's just a video recorder. So basically all the audio that me and Eddie are getting off our mics, technically we can always play back. And I probably will go back through all the audio and see if I caught.
Rose said there's some electrical noise in the back down there, so you might get some false readings.
With his thing, I probably won't be able to pick it up on the mic though.
What's your name?
Imagine just said so.
What is your name? Tony.
Whoa.
They're upstairs.
They're just walking.
Next week.
Yeah.
Lights
Oh.
on.
Oh well. Is he driving?
Sir, have you been drinking tonight?
What? I'm gonna try. Hey, what's up? Welcome to the Ghosty Goose Scoop.
We'll get the photo of the stairs.
Very heavy in here.
Exhibit.
Think we'll see anything?
I don't know. I'm gonna talk to the guy and see if we can do like a little thing after.
Oh fuck. Is that like a nice camera or is that like
But
a...
he was interested
Old
in
kind of
it,
bad
at
one.
least, because all I got was a tiny little.
I was supposed to be here last time, was it?
I don't know.
I don't think the table was here.
Probably not.
I don't think it was here. What's the
sit in
assistant
the chair?
surgeon?
Should I sit in the chair?
Yeah, that'll be the opening. Go ahead, do it.
Opening?
Take a video and I'll use that as the opening. Well, like the opening photo. Let me rephrase that. Go ahead, come on. Do it, you won't.
I don't know. It's getting bad energy. What if this is one of their chairs?
Just in the chair. It's a chair. Can't believe I have to fight you that much to do that.
Scary chair.
Jeez.
Tough stuff.
He didn't want to sit in the chair. He didn't want to sit in the chair. He was
It's got,
scared of
like,
the chair.
bad energy.
Bad juju.
This thing is blinding.
Yeah, it's pretty bright, but
Is
it's
that a
good.
special flash or this is just...
No,
That's good though. I mean, that's usually when you spot them. So the only problem is.
What's up, guys? We're at Fort William Henry today. We just got back from our ghost tour. We got to explore the whole fort. So Fort William Henry, it's a previous fort, and a lot of people died here. This was from the French-English War. No?
French and Indian.
French and Indian War.
Fuck. Now we gotta restart.